Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, part of our Weird West D&D 4th edition campaign. Today is June. God, this fucking... I hate what it does now. I hate the way that Twitch does it. Today is June 23rd, 2025, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you could check up on on the after show that we like to do at the end of the show. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to, again, join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Patreon, on Twitch, and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch, as always, goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So, if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ. Today I'm playing Kid, the Genasi Sword Mage. We both go by he, they. It's the end.
Now it's the end. I'm LBHackEmUp. I'm going to be playing Trisannas. She, they. I go by she, her. And I love you guys.
On Cyber, I use he or whatever pronouns. I'm playing Rakel. Rakel uses she, her. She's a human shaman.
And I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him. And tonight, I shall be playing as Carruthers Edelweiss, also known as Ruth to his friends. Uses he, him pronouns. I forgot this time. But that's what they are.
And that just leaves me. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. She, her, coming in with a very solemn energy tonight. As yes, this is the end. It is the epilogue of our Gold Rush campaign. But as we all know, all endings lead to new beginnings. And this is the beginning of this session. So let's kick it off with the recap. I'm doing that thing where I'm replacing words with other words. Session 27! The posse had their final showdown with Goldtooth Joe. Joe seemed to want to hire on the posse as his new deputies, but they were having none of it. What followed was a fight in which Joe offered the party access to his horde, which empowered and corrupted them in equal measure. The battle ended with everyone being blasted into the air, and Joe turning into a gold dragon to trade blows with the posse as they fell, until he was finally defeated and reduced to coins, which now rained down to the earth. The posse now safely floats to the ground on a literal golden parachute formed from Joe's horde. And as you see this beautiful green land of the Golden Coast, the sun is setting over the ocean, and you guys are sort of overcome with this feeling of peace as you realize that the hardest part of your journey is now at its end. And it is abruptly interrupted by the sound of multiple train horns going off. I practiced this. I might be better. Give it a try. Woo! Woo! If I could put like a reverb on that, it'd be a lot more intimidating.
I honestly thought the buildup was just going to be you going choo-choo, like deadpan.
Choo-choo! that would have been funny. Yeah. Well, we'll fix it in post. Charles and all his friends, as the sky rails come swarming in like a pack of buzzards and start tearing at your parachute, as like there is all of this gold just like free for the taking. And it seems to be that this is what the trains are so hungry for. And like, yeah, they they rip the parachute off of your little platform there, and you begin falling again.
Fuck!
And you see them fighting like seagulls over a plastic bag.
You know what? Kid just pulls out his coin purse as they're falling and tosses that in the air, and he'll form a new parachute with the funds he has on him.
I'll create a landing of boxes beneath.
Cardboard boxes.
The tried and true.
All right. Where the hell are we?
Here we are exactly where we were before we went underground.
Kid, as you're standing on this clearing, you can look up and see the trains, like, you know, continue to bicker over the gold that they have confiscated from you. And they sort of, like, meander off into the distance. It seems that they're not interested in pursuing you as a snack.
That's cool.
And
We're gonna have to do something about those trains.
Do we?
So, there's the flit of paper as a bit of parchment slaps against Kid's face.
What's this?
It is a wanted poster. There is a portrait on it. You do not recognize the person.
Flips it back to everyone.
Do any of us recognize the person? Is it Dolly Parton?
You don't. You don't It's not Dolly Parton. No. You do not recognize the person. It's a normal-looking human man wearing some overalls and a headlamp. And we'll say that his name is William James.
2 first names, he must be important.
He's William James, and his horde is described as 0.
He looks just like you, Ruthie. He doesn't.
Not at all.
I was gonna say, like, Triss, you made boxes to fall into. Kid had his parachute. Ruth just aimed for the river that was nearby.
Kasploosh.
He's coming back up, and like he's like
say
you
the
hear
line,
that
Ruth.
off in the distance,
Say
and
the
he's
line,
wringing
old
his
man.
hat out, and just I've never seen him before in my life. I don't think. What's his name?
William James?
Yeah, 2 first names. All right. How much
I
is
wonder-
he worth?
0.
What?
I thought we were done with this.
Oh dear.
What?
We need to find that big old cage.
What?
Oh no. You don't
What?
think.
I have quite a good thought about many a things, and this is not a great thought, but it is one.
Kid puts a hand on Triss's shoulder and leans in conspiratorially. Gold-Tooth Joe turned people into canaries and into parchment. So maybe this William James fella is who's trapped in the parchment.
Oh. Can I attempt to see if I can find my way into the code and get him back?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know
I
one
would
way to get rid of him.
Oh no. I would normally make you roll for this.
But
Do you have your
So
character
I
sheet
will.
open?
Yeah.
Okay, then go ahead and roll a nature check.
you were making like there was a but at the end of that sentence today.
I was still deciding.
29.
Nice.
All right, good stuff. You are able to see into the matrix, and it is Joe's law through and through. But as you're sort of like perusing through this code, you realize there's not really much of anything stopping you from exerting your will over this law, being that Joe is gone now.
Perhaps this is just a reminder of who was lost. It seems that he is already gone.
No, James is Joe. Goldtooth Joe is gone.
Oh,
William James, the fella on
Right,
the
right,
on the
sorry.
wanted poster. He's still in there.
I'm not correcting myself. No, I'm kidding. I will attempt to...
He's dead for
Oh,
sure.
that- I'll just
Yeah.
fold that into a paper airplane
Rips
and
the
launch it off
paper,
the
yeah.
side.
Can I attempt to reverse this?
Engineer.
Yeah,
You
can I
may.
All right. Pop off, sis. Let's go. 21.
Sick. All right. The paper begins to fold itself. And at first it takes on the form of that paper bird that you guys had seen earlier in the mine. And then it turns into a little golden canary. And then you see its limbs begin to lengthen and fill out into... Oh no. Why? We can't just have like a moment, can we?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. I'll just stop looking at the screen. How about that? I'll just DM with my eyes closed from now on.
You said you'd have your eyes closed. Fuck.
His
The
limbs
Paper Mario
lengthen.
body horror.
Yeah.
Yes, his limbs lengthen and fill out, and there's a bright light as the silhouette of a man, the man on the wanted poster, appears, and he is floating in midair, and abruptly the light drops, and a flesh and blood miner lands in front of you.
How young is he?
He coughs up some feathers and looks up at you guys. And he kind of like seems to like look around to try and gain his bearings. And he says, "How long has it been?"
Well, that depends. What was the last thing you remember?
Where are the others?
Miners or compass roves?
Where's Joe?
All right. Depending on your response to this next question, are
His
you
bounty's
chill?
0. He's fine.
That's still. I just want to ask if he's chill or not.
Last thing I remember, Joe had told us we were all trapped behind the palisades and we were running out of rations.
How long ago was
So-
that?
I don't think he knows.
No, I'm asking Ruth.
Oh.
That's like what? Like,
It was like a decade or two.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere between, I want to say, 10 to 15 years?
We figured out the timeline at some point. I do not have it accessible to me right now.
It's, to put it lightly, it's been a while. That being said, Joe's gone. Palisades are open.
Did you have people that you need to get back to?
10, 15 years. Not really. I didn't have much kin.
Well, if that's
Good.
the case, we can at least get you back to society. Try and reintegrate you.
You see him like reach up and scratch at his sideburns, which are interlaced periodically with little downy feathers. I I'm a little confused. I think I need some time to sort of get my bearings.
I don't mean to alarm you, but Joe turned you into a bird that then got turned into paper, that then got turned into yet another bird, and you and your mining crew were sent throughout the Ramble on these, like, fun, fantastic letters that flew out.
Do remember Joe saying something about canaries being easy to feed.
You, I believe, have been with us essentially the whole time. Because this is our wanted poster, right?
Mhm.
Our wanted poster. So, you came to us as a little paper crane, and then we unfolded you and kept you safe with us the whole time.
I don't recall going to... Sorry, what was your name?
You can call me Armadillo Daniel.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. The name Thorny Toad Jim jumps out in my mind.
Oh, yeah. No, he was around.
Okay. I'll just trust you on that one.
Yep. Oh, he definitely was around for a while.
Oh, this...
Was there a particular place in the Ramble that you were wanting to get back to?
Well, we were gonna homestead out here in the Gold Coast.
We can discuss
Okay.
that later when things have been properly potted. Anyways, you need more time to process what's going on.
If you wouldn't mind.
And Ruth just says, well, if you're hungry, and he'll offer him some of the beans.
I think he like takes one bite of it, and like kind of like chews on it thoughtfully, and he says, "Well, it wasn't birdseed."
And Ruth laughs at this.
And just hands it back to you.
I have a feeling there are a lot more of these papers we need to take care of.
Or at least put out the good word.
Well, there were a bunch of canaries in the mine.
I don't think that, like, inside the mine there was just the one, right?
Yeah, but the
Just-
cage was large enough to hold many of them.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And with the story
And-
of how this all worked out, there was like a torrent of these things that flew out to the Ramble and basically went to like one of everybody.
Yep. So they're spread across the entire Ramble.
We're not gonna get them all. That's a side quest.
Walking away.
It's
from
like
this
when you beat the
individual.
final boss, and it's all like, here's all of the collectathons you can do.
Yeah. Well, excuse us. I'm just gonna move him away from us. Now that we've completed our mission, right, Ruthie?
We did.
We need to figure out what we're gonna do with this land.
We ain't gonna do nothing with it. Because it's not our land. Never was, never will be. We want to
Right.
try and homestead on it eventually, that's one thing. But as far as the people of the Ramble are concerned, the pass is still closed.
Do you want to leave it?
I would be lying if I said I did. That being said, there are some things that need to be taken care of first. First and foremost, and he turns to Rakel. When you joined up with our group, you said you needed some sort of ritualist.
Yeah. And I think I am that ritualist.
And I said that I would help you with that. And if you don't mind, I'd like to at least stick with you till it's seen through.
Okay, well, my guy's back in Glister. So
Sounds good.
figure out what you want to do with this pass.
For the most part, tell Cyrus to still just keep it blocked off until I come back.
And then what?
Then I'm going to build myself a little sheriff shack. And if people try and start shit out here, well, need somebody to look over it. That being said, Triss, now that you've seen the wonders of the Gold Coast, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Well, my people have been fighting for their land for a long time, and it's not much.
There's a lot of space out here.
If it's amenable to you, that is something I was hoping for us to cut out our own little space and someplace we can root down and be green.
Ruth will put his hands on his hips. Say, as the acting sheriff of the Gold Coast, seeing as how there's nobody else here that gonna tell me I'm not, I grant you your chunk of land, however long and large and grandiose it might be, as long as you leave a little room for a shack.
I would love it if you came to live with us, Ruthie. Even if you just had a space where you could vacation.
Well, tell you what, summer's here, lovely.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And he tips his little hat to you. And I think he'll use some of his law to create just his own little sheriff badge. But the badge doesn't say like Sheriff of the Gold Coast, it just says try and stop me, and he puts it on his chest.
Hand me a piece of paper that has I can do whatever I want written in crayon on it.
I do what I want.
Well, if you need a deputy.
I already have a deputy in mind, actually. Just need to find him first. It's that, mechanical fella.
Oh, I see. Really?
This was his land before it was ours. He knows it better than most. And, to be fair, I think that would be the best means of patching up an old feud as to offer an olive branch. Together we work towards finding a way that we can both be beneficial here. And if not, I spent a good long portion of my life fighting for something I didn't believe in. Now, I'd rather protect something I do believe in than keep kicking up old wounds.
You just hear the rustling of leaves from stage left. God damn. All right, here you go.
What?
And Rakel has disappeared into the foliage and come back with an actual branch of an olive tree.
Is that what these look like?
And she's chewing on one.
The branch or an olive?
An olive.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this for later. Thank you, Rakel. Ducks it into his little bag.
What's it gonna do with that?
It's more of a ceremonial gesture.
I get it.
Ruth is so pleased. This is the first time, I think, the entire campaign that he's said an idiom and been able to explain it to Rakel and have it land.
Rakel has understood as far as you have said, oh, it's a ceremonial thing.
That's all he needed to do the whole time.
Ceremonial thing. What? So, anybody else want to go check on the vault to see if there's any gold left?
Sounds like a mighty fine plan.
Because I was gonna do it myself, just saying. Hitch his rifle, start walking.
You mean, go look at, see if Joe's hoard had any gold left over?
Yeah. Or did
Sure.
he absorb all of the gold to turn himself into a dragon?
I mean, like, that was my idea, but like, you can go ahead and confirm that. There's a big, huge crater in the side of the Palisade Mountains where his mine used to be, basically.
Nope. Shit's fucked. Well, he'll turn around.
Is there, so the money that the trains did not get to from our parachute, are we just like walking around finding gold coins?
Yeah, well,
Scattered
yes.
around the Gold Coast.
Yes, correct. There is just gold coins scattered around the Gold Coast. And in fact, the trains have started to just sort of fly overhead, and wherever they go, they spew out exhaust from their chimneys, but instead of smoke, it appears to be this gold dust.
Oh my god.
Handkerchief is immediately handed to Rakel.
And whereas the Gold Coast felt empty of life and of law before, it seems to be making a gradual recovery.
Back to the way it was. Its natural state.
Putting the gold back in Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think Ruth
Is
just like taking some time to just like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Just like,
picking up little coins off the ground.
yeah.
Ruth, you could just dust like 100 gold around him instantaneously.
Well, I suppose.
It's real fun.
Tackle him. Oh. Well, there you are. I think for starters, I could use with some rest, and then I think I might mosey back home unless there's something else we need to do.
Not out here. From here on
Is there
out,
anything?
it's the mosey.
Okay, works for me. Is there anything anybody wants to do at the Gold Coast before you make your leave of it?
Hey, Rakel, what do your mechanical friends say? Let it go.
It's not meant to be held.
Yeah, I thought so. Is there a way for a kid to just dust the gold around him to return it to the land?
The only way that you've ever seen that done is whenever Rakel casts a ritual.
Oh. You want to help me dust some gold and to give it back to the land?
I don't know what ritual I would
Okay.
be able to do.
Either one of you give me a law check, either Arcana, Nature, or Endurance.
20 and 2. Arcana.
Um,
29.
you can 29. Sick. All right. Kid, you have a conversation with Rakel where you wonder if you can just leave the gold here and it'll be fine. And Rakel is able to confirm that if you leave gold coins out long enough, it will just degrade back into dust.
Huh.
So long as it doesn't have an owner.
Well, there we have it.
Like, technically all of the gold that Joe left behind is unclaimed.
Yeah, but that much money. Nope, nope, nope. We should probably dust
what
all of that.
what do you want to do?
Well, I, as a person, have learned growth over this adventure, and my greed has subsided, seeing as how it corrupted Goldtooth Joe into some terrifying molten beast and then a dragon. We should probably do something about that gold so that it removes the temptation of others climbing through the palisades and repeating said history.
I had a thought. This entire trip, we've been seeing people down on their luck, downtrodden, towns that have been ruined and ravaged because of Joe's greed. Don't you think it's time we gave a little back?
Man, I just had a real funny idea. Not ha-ha funny, but like interesting funny.
How interesting we talking? Are we talking bribing the trains up above with more money than they could possibly do, and then?
Oh yeah,
lord
I was
over
gonna
the
say
Ramble?
let them. No, I was gonna say just let the trains use that place as a feasting ground and then set them back over the Ramble. They'll spew out their law smoke across the land.
Yeah, I don't really know how that part works. That was
Is that
Lord
their
Dexter's
poop?
thing. Fuck that guy.
Maybe we'll take like 60,000 gold and just distribute it out there somewhere.
Sounds mighty fine to me.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Kid, are you heading back to your hometown?
Yeah, I've got some business there real quick.
I might join you on the way. I also have some business.
Gonna go see Brucey.
There's no emotion on her face, and she just goes, perhaps.
It's the eyebrow wiggles, but the lids don't move.
He's never looked more like Brock from Pokemon.
I'm gonna turn this frying pan into a dying pan.
Oh God. Okay. Anything else in the Gold Coast before you leave?
Nah.
I'll leave like a little headstone in Goldtooth Joe's cave.
What does it say?
No, just like, beware ye greed.
This is not a
Goldtooth
place of
Joe.
honor.
Asshole. Oh, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, well, there you go. Goldtooth Joe, don't meet your heroes.
That's an
Aw.
epitaph.
Wow. Comes a moment in every young girl's life where she has to fight and kill her dad.
Yep.
Okay.
What?
It's a Saturday thing. Don't worry about it.
Happy Pride.
Happy Friday.
Happy Pride. Yes. Okay. Nights in the courtyard. I can explain myself later.
No, you don't need to.
Okay, great. Happy to move on. All right. So do you go around and gather up some gold, or do you just like resolve to give gold to the trains later on?
I think it's like 50-50 at this point, right? Like, we'll gather some gold to personally distribute to the Ramble and then let the trains do what they will with the rest.
Yep.
Just like hoover it up on your way back up the Palisades to get to the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Works for me.
If
I
if I could try, I would like to. First off, my idea involves a level 15 ritual.
dang. All right. Go off.
I
tell
I
me
do-
tell me what
I do
what you're
not
gonna
want to
do
be
with-
the sole person doing it.
Oh,
I want
you're
to
gonna need
help.
help.
I want to
Yeah.
help the trains do it.
Oh. That's pretty cool.
Um,
Tell me
so
more.
so if I could do a similar kind of like whistle to summon the trains like we did whenever we first started falling off out of the sky.
Oh yeah, you did do
Uh,
that, didn't you?
I would like to make a valiant attempt to help the trains perform a revitalize.
You revitalize. Let me look at it just to see what it does mechanically. Revitalize.
You transform an area of defiled terrain into normal terrain.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
It costs 8,000 gold.
I love it. It costs 3,000 to learn. I'm fairly confident that there is that much in Joe's Horde and more. Yeah, great. Give me a nature check.
Sure thing. Give me a train whistle.
How dare you? Choo choo.
28.
Great. Rules is written. This would do a close burst 5. We're gonna
I'm
be
cool
here all
with
day.
that.
We're gonna be here all day if we do that. I think that what this is that you imitate you get to an elevated surface. You offer some gold. And when a train gets close to try and sort of like slurp it up out of your hands, you cast that ritual. And the train sees you do it. And you watch it go and like hoover up some gold that's around you. And then it casts that ritual itself. And then it goes up to another train and like casts the ritual again, and that other train seems to like understand it. And it's a little bit like how corvids like will recognize your face if you do something significantly like good or terrible to them, and they teach their children. The trains are spreading this knowledge around.
They're just sort of. It's a mix between like writing new ley lines that are going into the earth, sort of like kintsugi.
Oh, that's so cool though. So when you get up to like when you begin climbing the palace, I want to say that this happens like in the evening, like then when you, because the sun was setting, you take a rest. Then you go out, you perform the ritual, and the trains like learn the ritual from you, and then like go and like spread it. And then by morning, when you're climbing the palisades, you can turn around and see like the ley lines of gold veins just throughout the entire land. That's cool. I like that. All right. You leave the Gold Coast behind. And find yourself at the door, which has been closed behind you. The gate of the Cloud Fort. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Kid gives it a knock. And then you hear from behind the door, "What's the password?"
Wait, no. Do who's there?
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo.
The door opens. I knew it had to be you all. Joe never had a sense of humor.
He was pretty funny up until the end, honestly.
He was
Funny in the
funny
head,
in
I
a
reckon.
like whoo kind of way.
Deed's done. If you wanna go and double check our handiwork, you don't need to though. We kind of were thorough.
We promise it's all Jover.
Chad, it's so Jover.
I trust you. And he kind of gives you a nod. He he takes off his big old bearskin hat and holds it over his heart for a second, just sort of like paying his respects. And then he'll go ahead and plop it back on there. Is there anything that you would like to do at the Cloud Fort before moving on?
Hey, Cirrus, if you have any of the old wanted posters, those are people?
Ruth will just thumb over to the guy behind them.
William James.
William James.
He was one of the posters. His brain's a little gone.
Can he, like, stay here and hang with you until he feels better?
It's very cold here.
Oh, yeah.
I
that's
thought
right.
he was trying to homestead back where
Where
we
it
just
was
came from.
warm and balmy and nice.
Yeah, I'd say William James probably stays in the Gold Coast. This is a pretty good place to retire.
It's Florida.
Basically.
We come back and there's just a single Margaritaville.
In a cul-de-sac.
He's sitting there wearing like an Aloha shirt. He's got like a fancy drink and a coconut.
Little umbrella.
Little umbrella. No. You can inform Cirrus of the wanted posters and stuff like that, and like, at some point I think you mentioned him staying at the Cloud Fort Pass, and he laughs like you're joking. I'm not gonna stay here.
Oh. Where you headed?
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of traveling I need to catch up on. And, well, when a law user dies, it's never guaranteed that they're gone for good. The other deputies could still be out there.
You gonna hunt him down?
I've
Like, no shame
got-
in it.
I've got unfinished business with them. So if they are out there, I'd like to be the one to find them.
Well, if I spot any of them while I'm traveling around, I'll come find you.
And
Ruth
if
will
I
make-
find any wanted posters, I'll let you know.
Ruth will make
Holds up a tiny fist.
Yeah, dap.
Ruth will make a sending stone and then give it to Cirrus.
Don't be a stranger.
He takes it in between his fingers, and then like he manipulates a little bit of law and like sizes it up into like a boulder, and he puts it into his pocket.
That shit's gonna get lost. Thigh slaps. Well, Cirrus, about time we start moseying.
Oh, Cirrus. By the way, if you see a man while you're out and about, he may be wandering these mountains, lost, alone, a little cold, goes by the name of Trisannas, previously Thorny-Toed Jim. Let him know. Just like take him with you. He's harmless.
He nods like solemnly.
He's giantkin too, so he might need a little guidance. A lot of guidance.
A lot of guidance. Yeah.
Not a lot of giants around nowadays. Be nice to see another one of my own kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they'll get along swimmingly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, if he ever finds more of himself, he can get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to find himself.
He's got to put himself back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cirrus doesn't know what we're talking about.
He's got a lot of growing to do.
Wait,
I gotta put
how
that
is
guy
he
in my
kin
back
to-
pocket. He'd be a lot of fun as a player character.
How is he kin to Cirrus? How is Cirrus kin to Thorny-Toed? They look nothing alike.
They aren't.
No, Tharsden.
Well, not Tharsden. That's a completely different guy. Tharsas, he's.
Stars ass. sorry.
So,
Why are we
Thorny-Toed
talking
Jim
about his
is.
ass?
Thursaz in our tongue means thorn.
they're related in the same way that... I'm not going to get into it too much.
We're related in the same way that a black bear is related to a grizzly.
That one.
Different but same.
Okay.
Similar creatures, but not necessarily the same parents.
Yep. Anyways, be on the lookout for him, just in case, and if you need anything, always free to drop me a line.
I'll call you. Great. Anything else you guys want to do at the Cloud Fort Pass?
No.
Okay, on your way out, there is a cheery little toot toot from the train station. Remember that there was a train station at the Cloud Fort Pass. And sure enough, you poke your head around the corner and there is a sky rail waiting at the station.
Is it our sky rail or just some random sky rail?
Oh, looks pretty familiar.
It's the one we nursed
Didn't
back to
that
hell.
thing? Oh,
That
well,
thing tried to eat us.
it did.
In
It
our
did.
defense, a lot of things tried to eat us on these last couple months.
As you're looking at it and discussing this, over the door, a little panel flips over with a cheery ring and goes ding, and it says, "Next stop, Lethe Springs."
Do.
You go over to the door, and there's a turnstile there with a coin drop.
Seriously? To the train?
Just
Bring,
put
bring.
the money into the train. Just don't ask questions. Just put the money in the train.
You know, you raise someone and you think that sometimes you might get a freebie every now and get clink.
Turnstile will let you through.
Deposit the money and go.
All right.
Get the money and run.
I'll hop the style.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruth will put an extra coin once Rakel has gone past.
What?
You hop the style. You hop the turnstile. And you hear a bring bring and like a little like platform open or like a little trapdoor opens in the wall. And this sort of like clockwork
Oh.
appendage comes out and like taps on the turnstile, where it's written like admittance 1 gold coin.
Oh, okay. You're hungry. Don't eat us.
All right. As you deposit your coin, that appendage like flips up into like a thumbs up, and then ka-chunk goes back into the.
Oh no. Sorry, my intrusive thought is to go up to the turnstile and you know? You always want to do that.
Ruth will just put his arms.
Do that once we're back on solid ground. You can have your fun then. We are too high up and the mountains are too deadly for tomfoolery. I've died in these mountains once. I won't die here again.
Sounds like a skill issue, Ruthie.
It was! It was a skill issue!
Seeing that everyone pays, the door will shut, and the train will begin moving. And it travels briefly on the rails before it lifts off very smoothly, and it begins traveling through the sky. And up here, you can even see other sky rails that are like traveling around in a much more peaceful manner than they did before. They're just kind of like soaring the way that birds do when migrating. And you see them even beginning to go out to different parts of the Ramble, away from the Palisades. Nature is healing. It takes a few hours for you eventually to get to Lethe Springs, and you're able to see it from above. It appears that Lethe Springs is a legitimate ghost town at this point. In the light of the setting sun, you can see that there's pretty much nobody here. All of the buildings look abandoned. But that river down in the valley is flowing freely from the well, where the souls eventually will choose to move on. And as the last rays of the sun fall behind the Palisade Mountains, the night life, or the night unlife, as it were, picks up. And everyone can actually see the ghosts begin to, like, apparate and to stream out of the buildings and to mingle and basically just have a good time. The train will pull into the station, and as you disembark, because like basically the train like flips over the how do you call it? It flips over that panel displaying the next stop, and it says next stop Cloudfort Pass. So it seems it wants to do its old route again.
When Kid disembarks, he just pats the outside of the train.
Bring, bring.
That'll be.
Are we supposed to do anything here? Everybody's dead. And Rakel goes in and looks for mushrooms. Mushrooms, mold, anything rotten.
That's right. The weird
Yes.
death bird.
Baby.
You're right. You're so right.
Y'all remember the baby?
Don't forget about the baby. Yeah, okay. I think this will take a little time for you to track this down.
Just to be clear, Rakel is not looking for the moldy bird. She's specifically looking
You
for
just-
like any sign that like if
You wanna
there
see
are
an
abandoned
indication
houses
that-
that
yeah.
like the wood is actually rotting.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Can you give me a nature check?
We're gonna go with that first one. 30.
30. That's pretty sick. Honestly, if I had remembered the baby, it would have been a lot cooler to have it like flying alongside you guys while you were on the train. I want to say that like Rakel did actually see the bird flying off in the distance back towards Leafy Springs. So like you can rest assured that the balance between life and death, the cycle, is now well underway here in Lethe Springs. And as you move through the city, you can actually see that for yourself. The soul coin economy has collapsed. There's none of that going on anymore. And the ghosts pretty much stay in Leafy Springs for as long as they want, and then they move on to the well when they're ready. And in the years to come, the living will actually be able to come here and get one last chance to say goodbye to their loved ones, and it will become a popular spot for funerals.
We can't hear you.
I said, oh, I love that.
Is there anything that you would like to do here before moving on?
It was Tiny who was in charge of the well.
Smalls.
Is Jacob?
Smalls.
Smalls. And is Jacob still here?
No, and you can
Moved
even ask
on.
around for him. It seems that he never returned.
Oh
Oh.
no.
He'll
Is
come back
Smalls
here
still here?
someday.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're asking around for Jacob, you'd probably go to Smalls, who
Yeah.
like basically has taken up post by the well, and you haven't really seen him move from there. While you're asking around about Jacob, Kid, I'm gonna say that you actually spot a pair of glasses, spectral glasses, on the edge of the well, and you recognize them instantly. They belong to Cook.
He'll, even though he knows in his heart they are ghostly glasses, he'll reach for them.
Your hand just goes through them.
I do believe that he has passed on, but would you like me to try to find him?
Nah, I think it's about time Pop's had some rest. I'm pretty sure they're all sick of me by now.
I don't think that's true, and I don't think you do either.
Damn pollen.
Gold dust. Oof.
And gold dust is gonna get you.
Mm-hmm. Just a light pat on his back. Well, Smalls, are you enjoying your time?
I reckon I am. Well, actually, hold on. He's supposed to be fucking Scruffy from Futurama, which I recently learned, or it's not even recent at this point. I learned eventually that he speaks in the third person.
Scruffy mama.
Smalls
Scruffy loves
reckon.
this company.
Smalls reckons that this is the best times that Leafy Springs has ever seen.
I think so too. Thank you for watching over those who are passing.
Oh, Smalls always gotta keep things tidy around here. I'm sorry, I don't know why why this is giving me the giggles. Okay.
She reaches out and like places a hand on him, and she says, "I'll come back and visit you before I head back, well, to our new home."
You see a softness sort of crawl into his eyes, as he realized, like, he doesn't say it, but this has been a dream of yours for a long time. And so he kind of like looks at you, in the manner that like a friend looks at another friend who like has like very good news. And so like there's just kind of a twinkle in his eye and he smiles at you.
Keep the light on for me.
I always do.
Do you need it then, Smalls, while we're here?
Smiles don't need anything but his broom.
And remind me, Smalls, ghost? Not ghost.
He's a ghost bugbear.
Ghost bugbear. Okay.
He used to be a janitor, and now for some reason he hangs out around the well.
It'll just...
So Smalls is essentially not the de facto leader, but he controls the pump that does, the river.
Smalls has found himself being a... Oh, shit, what's the name? What's the word for it? Smalls is a plumber now.
He's kind of like a
got my
reaper,
license.
like the guy who drives the boat.
Yes, exactly like a
Charon.
reaper.
And a boatman or
Boat
a
RJ.
Marinoloth.
Yes, love.
The name of the bar that you're...
Psychopomp.
That's it, yeah. Smalls found himself being a psychopomp.
Guide to
Which
the
is
dead.
a
That's
figure which ferries the dead to the afterlife.
If Smalls could use money, Ruth will leave money from Goldtooth Joe with Smalls for the purpose of bettering the town.
Okay. He'll take it. And when you walk away, you hear the sound of the money going into the well.
All's wishes for a new broom. Ding. Small's wishes for ding.
Well, that's one place to keep it.
Was that?
Said that's one place to keep it.
Yeah. I guess we should, where do we gotta roll through next?
Tornado Town.
Serendipity.
That.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, I'm mad about the horses again.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
0 days. With the side down.
All right. You guys start heading back towards Serendipity. It's longer going, since, you feel a bit spoiled having taken the sky rail, because and now having to walk again. Oh shoot, you guys rode horses here, didn't you? I bet
Yeah.
you could find your horses.
I can find my donkey.
Hode.
Good old Hote.
Oh, Hode missed you.
I missed Hote. Apples for all.
He tries to eat your hat.
I let him get at least one good bite in.
Oh, bless. Okay, y'all mount up and start heading back towards Serendipity. You find yourselves traveling through lots and lots of farmland. It is horribly blighted from the miasma that used to hang over it. But likewise, you can see that it is recovering. That, in fact, the living have started to move back towards Leafy Springs, and there's some hope that it's going to become a place where the living and the dead can be together rather than just a place for the dead. You eventually find yourself riding into Serendipity, which has always been sort of a transitory place. When you last left it, there were a lot of boarded up windows and the like, and there are still a lot of abandoned buildings and whatnot, but less so than before. It seems that a lot of people have moved into town because there are more jobs to be had at the Parcel Concordant, which has been restarted by Trina, the Asimar who used to bartend at the Lotus Garden.
Kid'll actually stop in there first.
Well, if my eyes do deceive. Kid, is that you?
Hey sis, how's it going?
Trina is working behind the counter. It seems that her riding days are behind her, but she's found herself in a management position, and it's working out pretty well for her. She says, "You know, you're in luck, actually. I do believe I have a bit of mail here for you." She's starts digging through the bag next to her. She'd been doing some packaging and stamping, and she pulls out a postcard. And shoot, did you guys ever come up with a group name? I don't think you did. It's addressed to Ruth and Rakel and Triss and Kid. It's addressed to all of you. And it is a photograph of a werebeaver, basically holding out his arm to do a selfie. And it's Jacques, and he's got his other arm around a grumpy-looking thorny-toed Jim and a smiling Thorn, and it's just the three of them in the cabin, and it says "Wish you were here" across the front of it.
Was that a threat?
No, I don't think it was, but I do not envy Thorny Toad Jim.
On
At least they'll have
on-
fish to eat.
on the back, it explains that Jacques found them frozen out in the snow and nursed them back to health. And he has since sent them on their way. But they had a serious talk during their time in the cabin. And Thorn told Thorny Toad Jim that he wanted to settle down. And so Thorny Toad Jim has given up his quest for vengeance.
Oh. Who was he avenging?
Himself.
Hmm.
Because we kicked his ass that one time.
And the other time.
And the other time.
That's not
Oh,
including the
I
time
see.
we released the Displacer Beast on him.
You know, honestly, outside of this party, Thorny Toad Jim has been a part of our lives far longer than anyone else.
Gonna miss him.
Rakel,
thought
you
he
still
looked
have no
familiar.
idea who that is.
Anyways, is there a key tickling gentleman in the vicinity?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean-
somebody had to replace me as bartender.
Oh, you got an upgrade. Nice. We're gonna stop by there anyway.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be happy to see you. He's been asking for a long time, like, to send a letter to Miss Triss here, but I keep on telling him I have no idea where she is, man. As soon as I get an address, I'd be happy to send it.
Oh, by the way, this is for you to invest in your business, and Kid will just clunk 500 gold onto the desk in front of Trina.
I think you forgot some of your gold there. Yeah, you meant all of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awful generous of you, kid.
He was raised right.
Hey, Jake, I finally got your pay.
Thanks!
And there is a fluttering of wings as a Aarakocra, or an Aarakocra, as you might call him, as Jacob Crow comes fluttering in through the window wearing a postage sack over his shoulder. And he's all like, "Oh, thank goodness. I was really starting to get hungry."
Oh, I thought he
Hey.
died.
And he like brightens as he sees you guys and just sort of like points at you.
We
Well,
thought you were
hello.
dead.
I thought you guys were dead.
What a pleasant surprise.
He opens up his wings and says, "Get in here."
She goes in and does one of these.
Yep. He hugs you and like it's like he's got wings, so, like but like I guess Aarakocra also have the claw
Hands.
hands as well. So you get double hugged. You get hugged by the arms and by the wings.
Well, how did you find your way here?
Well, a squall started doing some unpredictable things, and I found myself blown off course, and I landed out here.
How serendipitous.
Are you settling here?
I reckon I will. The workout here is better, and the pay just got a lot better.
You're welcome.
He just gives you a little salute.
Well, welcome to town. I really hope you enjoy your stay because I sure did. Yeah.
Isn't it great we're gonna be neighbors?
Oh, yeah, about that.
Are you not sticking around?
No, actually, I was planning to tell the madam before anyone else, but I think I might hit the road, see where my parents got up to.
No. I mean, if like Trina just sort of like nods solemnly, and she says, well, if you ever find yourself in need of work, we could always use more riders.
There's a thought. I will consider this.
Well, you're a young kid. Everybody still has to find themselves at some point.
Found out
Well,
what my name is. And just walk away.
She is very interested to find out.
It means hummingbird.
Oh, that's cute as hell.
Yeah, it makes me kind of want to throw up a little bit.
She'll give you like a noogie, like rustle your hair. It makes perfect sense. You're always buzzing around.
Go away.
Got him.
Gonna clap Ruth on the back of the head as I walk out towards the Lotus Garden.
All right. You head over toward the Lotus Garden.
Ruthie,
Yes,
how are my branches?
your branches look fine. Here, just
And he'll like, I don't know, like sort of like straighten out the clothes, make sure it's a little bit straighter on. Just,
you know that there's not much that I can tell you that you don't already know. You're fantastic. You're strong, you're smart, you're independent. You don't need no lizard man in your life. That being said, if you want one, he'd be lucky to have you.
Well, thank you, Ruthie. Couldn't ask for a better wingman.
Other than Jake, he's got actual wings.
I meant emotionally.
I see. I'm always here, got your back. Now, wonder what the madam's up to.
Oh boy.
As you approach the Lotus Garden, you do in fact hear the sound of tinkling piano keys inside. And I feel like Triss is very interested to get to that piano and, you know, talk to the person who's playing it. But as the door opens and you turn your eyes towards it, you realize that the person sitting there is in fact not your lizard folk beau, but one of the girls who is basically like learning how to play the piano, but she's gotten quite good. So like she's nearly to the point that Brutus was at. But now that like you realize it and you're not quite so blinded by your desire to see him, you realize the drop in quality from his dulcet tones. And then you turn to the right and see him cleaning a glass behind the bar.
She'll walk in casually, take a seat at the bar.
He turns around ready to take your order, and nearly drops the glass. But he's very smooth. He doesn't drop the glass. He just sort of like stops, catches himself, puts the glass down. Hey.
Good afternoon.
Can I, get you a drink?
Water would be lovely.
He, like, steps to the side and pours you a glass of water. Ice or no ice?
Ice.
Okay. He'll, pull out an ice block. It's the clearest, most beautiful ice you've ever seen. And he'll chop a great big block of it. And it fills, like, the whole glass. Pour the water over the top.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
Well, I'd like to hear about how things have been since we moved on.
Well, things have been picking up here again. I've been teaching Kala the piano over there. She's getting pretty good.
Yes, I almost mistook her for your playing abilities.
Well, that's high praise to me as a teacher, I guess.
Well, we might be in town for a little bit. Perhaps we can have a conversation after you've gotten off shift.
That sounds great. Say, I tried to send you a letter, but Trina keeps on telling me that I need an address, so before you leave, if you could give me an address that I could send letters to, then I'd be able to send you letters.
I shall do my best.
I think that your conversation continues, and
This
we'll
is flirting, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Do you want ice? Yes. This is flirting.
Bless.
Conversations going on. Kid is like leaned against the piano, just looking down at the keys as Cal is playing. No, that's it's supposed to be a G there. Yeah.
It's getting to about lunchtime, and it smells like the kitchen is open. So it seems like somebody is back there making lunch. You poke your head in there.
Back here.
You see a translucent fellow in a striped shirt who is slaving over a hot walk.
I grieved for you.
What a thing to say. Oh, bless. He sort of like looks over his shoulder, like just briefly, and like turns his attention back to the stove in front of him. And he just sort of like throws a rag over his shoulder and he says, well, what did you go and do that for?
You're dead.
I've been dead. I've been dead for the entirety of this campaign.
Kid is immediately like just plating things to get on trays.
Oh, bless. Okay, I need to look at my notes real quick. You guys are going to be bickering, I think, in the kitchen for a while.
Yeah.
Ruth, did you want to go and see Madam Black?
Yeah, sorry, Mia was being very cute. I had to take a picture. Look at
Oh
that.
my goodness, she's still being cute. Look at
Just
that.
never stops. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh my God, you know it too, you sack of shit.
When they stretch them leggies out.
She has one arm that's resting on her face. Anyways, yes, I would like to go see Madam Black, if only to initiate the conversation of last Ruth remembers, she was the, not mayor of the town, but she was really the like...
Right, she was very resistant to taking on the town as like her quote unquote territory. Like she was very clear that her influence stops at the doors of the Lotus Garden. But she would, however, look out for the town and help it in whatever way she could.
Yeah. I think Ruth just approaches her and says,
she's seated at her vanity.
yeah, he'll
looking
just
away
like,
from you.
he'll take a, he asks, do you mind if I take a seat? Or do you prefer I stand?
Sit or stand, it is your choice.
And Ruth will just take a quick seat.
Whatever pleases you.
Oh, it's not about what pleases me. It's about what pleases the lady. Always has been, always will be. That being said, kid did an amazing thing. Because of his help, we defeated Gold-Tooth Joe. Entry to the Palisades has been cleared and open. Gold Coast is free to travel. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we have suddenly come into a large amount of money, and I don't want it. At least, the majority of it. I come to you because I know that as much as you don't like being a leader, I also don't like being a leader, but we got people that we need to take care of, and I'd like to leave you with a little, well, a lot of some funds to help make this town something special. Especially after you had to deal with my junior for as long as he did.
So you mean to give away your riches?
That I do. It was always my plan. Never wanted them in the first place. And every time we got them, I always made sure to give them back.
I seem to remember telling you that this is a business and not a charity.
It is.
How much gold did we each get from Gold-Tooth Joe?
A lot. I refuse to put a number to it. A lot of it is also scattered across the Ramble.
Yep.
So I would say your hoard where it started doubled at least.
Okay. Yeah, Ruth will offer a third of whatever he had and just sets it on the table, like just apparates it into a bag in front of him. Says,
well, if it's a business, how much of your time will this get me?
I have told you again that my services are not for sale.
Never said they were.
You seem very insistent on doing business with me. So let me tell you how you can help. Consider this an investment.
Would be more than happy to.
Very good. You will be hearing from me in the future. She'll take the gold, and you see her put it in her jewelry box. And in the years to come, you will receive in the mail via a cheery crow Aarakocra reports on all of the good that the Lotus Garden has done. It's not necessarily like it's sorry, I'm blanking. Sometimes I like my brain spins out and I have to like bring myself back to one. You receive reports, yearly reports, annual reports on how she has made back money on the investment, very kindly on your behalf reinvested that money, and all of the things that money does. And usually what that money does is pay for the education of a girl and send her out into the world to go and pursue her dreams. But it's not always that. Sometimes it's taking care of orphans. Sometimes it's like rebuilding a barn that fell down, like a family who needs it. And it's really funny to you. She keeps on telling you it's not a charity, but there's an awful lot of charity that's done with the gold that's earned at this here business.
I think one thing, Ruth would eventually write her back and just say, just very simply, it might not be a charity, but when you invest in people, you will never be wanting. He understands what this is.
I think years down the line, Kid will come back to visit the Lotus Garden and find that letter framed on the wall. And she doesn't talk about it at all. She doesn't draw any attention to it, but the fact that it's framed means that she holds it in some esteem. Speaking of Kid, actually, I want to talk to you. I've talked to you too much.
Goodbye!
I think that right there is actually a good time to stop for a break.
All right, sounds good. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. Hello, everybody. We've returned. We're back. It's a good time.
Hello, we are here. As we're getting back into our swan song and serendipity, I want to know if Rakel wanted to do anything here.
Rakel wanted to make damn sure that there was no six birds or any sign of him anywhere.
Okay. Are you like using law to try and track him down?
No.
You're just looking around.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a nature check.
19.
Okay. You find hoof prints, but not much else.
That better be a fucking horse.
What else can you say after the debacle that was six birds? We're gonna cut back to the kitchen with Kid and Cook.
Kid just turns to Cook as he has a bowl of grits in front of him and just starts shaking salt into it. Far too much salt into it.
You can't have too much salt and grits.
You can't, but
You're shaking the salt into the grits, and he like looks you dead in the eye, shakes some pepper into the grits, and then puts his hand over the salt shaker.
you can't affect anything. You're dead.
Oh, but can I?
I don't know.
thought
Can you?
I thought we raised you to be a bit more perceptive than that, Kid. And he's gonna like take the salt shaker out of your hand and put it down.
You also taught me to be petty, and he will gold up another salt shaker.
He's gonna just put a lid over that grits bowl, and I imagine that you guys are having like a physical comedy sketch where like you're trying to put salt in the grits, and he's just like coming up with other ways to like block the salt.
Yeah.
And this will be going on while he speaks. He turns away after putting that lid there, and he seems to be very like trying to be like very nonchalant about it, like pretending like he doesn't care about the salt, but you know he does a lot. He says, "When we found you in that overturned stagecoach, we could have left you there. But it weighed hard on our conscience that there would be a kid all alone and wondering what happened to his parents. When I died, I realized that the other wayward sons couldn't form to ghosts, and it was the most lonely moment of my life." He like blocks the salt again. "It took years to make peace with it. I accepted I would never see them again, and I would never again do the things that made me happy in life. I was at peace. I was ready to move on. Or so I thought. I realized that if I left now, there would still be a kid out there wondering what happened to his parents." takes the salt away from you.
Motherfucker. I thought we were having a heart-to-heart here. Or whatever.
You're not going to have a heart for long if you keep on over-salting your food. Cholesterol, kid. He, like, puts it down.
Never met her.
He looks at you, like, a slight irritation in his face, but he reaches over and grabs a cast iron, and for a terrifying moment, you think he's gonna bean you with it. And then
Wouldn't be the first time.
he turns the handle towards you and hands it to you.
Clank
This
it off the
is-
stove.
This is his cast iron. It's decades of seasoning. And like he hands it to you and like you're expecting to like do something with it. And he turns away and he says, "I want you to have this."
Oh, cook.
My soul is bound to it.
Oh. So if I just leave it here, you're stuck here?
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Good to know. You'll take
Well,
the
if-
cast iron with it.
Well, if you ever get sick of me, I will consider my work here and the mortal coil done, and I will move on. But if you do ever need me, you need only call me with this.
I got a lot more stories in me. Many more to come, and it's nice having someone reliable to talk to.
And if that's all you need me for, then that's fine.
I should really learn how to cook something other than just meat on stick, huh?
Salt is a seasoning or a preservative. And your insides do not need pickling.
No, I didn't miss this.
He will explain to you that he made a deal with Madame Black, basically. She gave him a semi-corporal form and bound his soul to that cast iron. And in the meantime, he'll work here at the Lotus as a chef.
You know, finding out Madam Black can bind souls to things should surprise me, but it doesn't.
She's a shrewd negotiator.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, glad you got a job. Thinking about hitting the trail in a couple of days.
Well, all right then. Just take this with you, and you'll have me whenever you need me. In the meantime, I'll just be here, not retired, and waiting for whenever you need me.
Kid'll actually plate himself up a bowl of grits, take a spoonful as he's eating, and just pull a face. You're right, that is far too salty.
He like looks at you, gets kind of an impish look, picks up a spoon and will taste it himself. And he seems to be showing off here that he is able to do that now.
What the shit?
And then like it is way too salty to the point where he like literally goes to like spit.
Hold on. Tris! I'm sorry. Cook's in the back and he can eat.
She looks over. Oh, well, that is good, right?
As a ghost?
They take all forms.
I thought you'd be interested in it. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Their hands were next to each other on the counter.
And do you know how like when you approach a lizard like out in the wild, they're like very skittish. They just
Oh my
like
God.
scramble away. That's
Does he drop his
exactly what
tail?
happens with Brutus.
Wings, does he drop his tail?
You didn't fire a shot
not
at him. You
that
just
bad.
said something.
Go back.
No, he just skitters away.
I'll take out my camera and go into the kitchen. She'll lean in, just snap a photo of the two of you together.
Kid has an apron on, and he's like kitty pawing a carrot as he's learning how to cut it properly.
Aw.
Cook is sitting up on the counter with a bowl in his hand, smiling as he chokes down the salty grits.
She moves out.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Nya nya, kitty paw. Can't get cut, nya nya.
What?
If you guys have never heard of In Stars and Time, look it up.
Oh.
It's a great game. But like Nights in the Courtyard for that. Is there anything that anybody needs to do in Serendipity before we move on?
Nope.
Chris will get an address for him, at least maybe to the train station, and she can pick up her stuff there.
Cloud Fort Pass.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I think
works
there's
for
P.O. boxes at train stations.
Okay, that works for me. Yeah. He promises to write to you. And like there's no way that he hasn't already written you a letter. But it seems like he wants to edit it before sending it.
She lets him know that she's gonna head back through here at some point, so she will stop by and see him.
All right. I would like that very much.
And if you find that you ever want to move on and find greener pastures, I believe there will be space for you in a new grove.
Oh, well, I do have a little bit of my contract left with the madam. And like she's just across the room, and she goes, like nods at him, and he just sort of like looks at her, and she just like pulls out her jewelry box, taps it, and then puts it away, and his eyebrows raise, and he's all like, "Whenever you want."
I'll let you know when we're coming back.
If we do spend the night here, Kid does leave for a little bit and then come back, like around supper time.
Okay. So do you intend to continue traveling with the posse, or like is there a possibility that this is where you part ways?
Oh, I think Kid will travel with the posse until all of their business is resumed, but for tonight he just went off to go spit on a grave real quick and then come back.
You know, as you do.
I'm here anyway, I might as well.
All right. Morning comes, and excuse me, one of the new fixtures in this area, the Parcel Concordant had like never been fully built before Six Spurs had his turn, and they are now like well underway of like getting everything set up. And one of the first things that they did was get the train station going. So the next morning you hear the toot toot of a train, which is weird because the rails haven't been brought out here yet. But sure enough, you step out of the Lotus Garden, which I assume is where you stayed, and find that there is a sky rail parked at the rail station.
I wonder if there's a way that we can communicate with these things eventually to figure out maybe like a month-long pass system. It just seemed to be everywhere.
think that they are reopening the trains, the railways.
Well, it's better than what we had before.
Ruth says, thinking back to when he and Kid were just on their
Yep.
With the hand
the
cards.
hand crank at the very beginning of all of this.
If I check the flip board, what does the destination read? The departure.
It is blank. But if you go to the flipboard, you can see that you can like turn the wheel. It goes ka-chung, ka-chung, and it like goes to different like it has like basically like a rotating like board with a few other towns written on it.
So like Leafy Springs is on there, Fort Pass.
You've happenstance. You've unlocked the fast travel system.
At the end of the game, yay! Oh shit, we should probably check in on that town, huh?
Which town?
The one Miss Sissy used to run, and then it was out of lawmen, so we were tasked to send a lawman back to it.
Well, we have to go there.
We did. We put in word out for it.
No,
Yeah.
we'll
Let
go
us.
there anyways. That's where Rakel's person is.
All right.
I didn't forget.
On Kid's pack, there is noticeably a new cast iron that's been affixed in the like bundle. Well, we'll roll back through here eventually.
I'm sure we will.
I don't think we ever gave that guy a name. He was one of Deputy Hawthorne's golden boys.
He was like Leroy or something like that. I swear we gave him a name.
Look,
I-
he had to change his identity going into a new town. We do not know his name that he used to hide from Sheriff Hawthorne.
It was like Leonard or like Leo or
It was an L name.
Ugh.
Yeah.
it was an L name. I hate that you're right, but you are.
I'm sorry, my mind palace is collapsing. All that data.
It's okay. I was
I
like,
didn't
I was
defrag.
like, I'm gonna forget something. I was like, I'm gonna like remember all of the names. I'm gonna write them all down so that I have them, you know, when we come back to them. And that was the one thing that slipped under the cracks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're able to go to Glimmer if you'd like.
Hell yeah.
Beings
next
you
up.
pay for tickets.
Yep.
Yeah.
No goodbyes.
In the future, the Skyrails will they're wild as ever. They can't really be controlled, but they will periodically park at train stations, and some will even like adopt train stations and adopt routes and like continue them for quite some time. But people will come to like recognize certain trains. Some trains like to stay in one place, and some trains just go like wherever the wind takes them. But given you pay for a ticket, like if you find a Skyrail, it will always take you where it promises to take you. You ride the train to Glimmer. Approaching from above, you can see that the population has shrunk significantly. It is a classic boomtown with a burst bubble, sort of humble and run down. The people who live here now are people who either lived here before the boom and never left, or the people who moved here after the boom and couldn't afford to leave, or couldn't stand to leave their loved ones in the bank. Sure enough, you'll find that that their golden boy, he goes by legs now.
What did he use before?
Arms.
I don't know what he used to be, but he like Like Simon said, he had to change his name.
Yeah,
And
lay
he
the
does like have
legs.
like really tall, like long, skinny jeans, basically. What's his name? Levi?
I'd be fine if it was Levi. Levi's been with
Sure.
us.
Sure. Golden Boy legs, Levi jeans. That's the sheriff of this here town.
Not Strauss is the last name, which is the actual brand of jeans. Just Levi jeans.
That's his name.
Levi Jean.
It's
Or
what it
Levi
always was.
Pronounced Johns.
If anyone's listening to this afterward, in all likelihood, it has been a matter of days since you have heard the episode where this man's name was. So, if you get to this point and you know this man's name, please tag me. It's killing me now.
Actually, it's pronounced Jorts.
No. That's his nephew.
That's another Knights in the Courtyard. You guys are distracting me. We got to get through this.
We're almost there. Come on.
The end is rapidly approaching.
End of the line.
End of the line. But yeah, I reckon that this guy will walk up to the train station, sort of like holding on to his belt, and wait for you to step off. As this is the first Skyrail to arrive in Glimmer, and he wants to make sure that y'all aren't trouble. He'll recognize you guys, and his eyebrows will go up, and he kind of like gives you a look that says, "Don't tell anybody my real name."
Something
Don't
wrong with your
worry.
pants?
Nope. Like, we'll move his hands to his hips.
You sure? All right.
What makes
The
you think there's something
very-
wrong with my pants?
The way that you were holding your belt.
Well, you ever have a problem where you don't know what to do with your hands?
No.
No.
Well, if you hold on to your belt, then your hands always have something to do.
I never thought about it that way. So, how's the town been? Had any trouble roll through?
A couple of times, trouble did try to come through here. Dusty's devils tried to expand into our territory, as it seems that they had made a deal with the madam to not cause trouble in Serendipity, so they've been trying to find, well, more fertile fields, I suppose. I was able to convince them that there wasn't anything worth their attention out here.
Fair enough. That being said, we should talk after this, but in the meantime, Rakel, do you think you can do the thing on, is it everybody that's been stuck? Or is it just going to be...
Yeah.
She can. It's going to take a long time and a lot of gold.
Got a lot of gold.
I mean, Rakel will start.
Can I assist in any way to expedite the process?
Yeah, let's talk about that. You guys head over to the bank. I believe that enough people here would recognize you guys and remember what you did for the town. And they are fully willing to let you go down into the vault to do what is to them a miracle, like the miracle that they've been waiting for. You find that the bank has kind of been repurposed into something of a memorial rather than a place to hold wealth. Like, there are guards and stuff like that, but it's because the things that are in this vault are precious to them in a emotional sense. You approach these statues, which have been cautiously moved and sort of sorted and labeled, as it seems that they have tried to, like, identify everybody who was down here. And Rakel, like, it takes you a bit because things have been moved around, but you are eventually able to find Majni.
Okay, well, I will take a note of him,
Mm-hmm.
but Raquel has many laws to break, and Majni is a special case that she will deal with after everything else is broken.
Okay.
So Raquel will begin breaking the law.
Great. Raquel is going to start casting rituals. Where do you begin?
I will begin with, I mean, if there's anybody here who is actively like come to visit a memorial, then I will tell them Scoot,
Sure.
get
We'll say it's a little old lady in a sundress and apron, and she's standing in front of a little old man who is a statue.
Scoot.
She like looks at you wide-eyed and just takes a few steps back.
And Raquel will try to end affliction.
Okay. End affliction. I should have brought this up earlier. Just for so that we know how long this takes. How long does this take?
Time is 1 hour, duration is instantaneous.
Okay. You spend the hour, and no sooner have you finished the ritual, do the ley lines of this statue, they all have that sort of like kintsugi look, where they're all made of like marble, and they have the gold veins like snaking through them. That gold begins to glow, and then the light spreads from the veins, leaving flesh behind. And the little old lady and the little old man will embrace.
He loses a quarter of his maximum hit points, but other than that, he's good.
He lives. Can you imagine? You spend a whole hour doing this, he just keels over. No.
Writes a big 0 on the last incident list.
I could. Oh,
I mean, what?
What?
What is
I was
the
gonna say.
What is the level of Miss Sissy's petrification?
You guys were level 2 at the time, so I'm gonna say level 2.
Okay, that doesn't change the result, but
Okay. There are. I'm checking my notes here, and there were 11 gold statues on the board. So this will take an entire day to get done.
mm-hmm.
Do you do Majni last?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't kill anybody doing this. I cannot roll lower than 8. I think 12.
That's good to hear, because that would be a very tragic end to the story. Yeah. You have spent 10 hours. Do you do this continuously, or do you take a break at some point?
Oh no, I do an hour. I'll go to another statue, and then after a while, Raquel's gonna like go find food or something.
Okay. I probably should have asked this before. I know Kid wanted to help.
Ruth will help.
I will reduce the total amount of hours by 1 for every person who helps you in this.
Helping.
Cool. I need
So-
money, and I need to get the people who they belong to here.
If it takes like an hour, a kid can go running out to collect people,
Round people up as
read the tag, read the address of next of kin, and run outside to bring them back.
yeah. Like it is slow going, but it's rewarding work because you can see the direct results of it. Like it is just family after family reunited.
Wasn't
And
Lefty
before-
one of the statues as well?
Yes, but she is dead.
Ah, I see.
Here, yeah, the sad thing about Triss had a conversation with Lefty's
Right.
ghost.
Yeah.
Lefty was a puppet. It's
So
very tragic and a little fucked up.
Schwupsie.
Oh, Betty's
Raquel
Nerfic.
sneezes whenever she finishes the little lay affliction, and it just turns into dust. For Lefty's statue.
Well, she's finally at peace.
No, she's finally in pieces.
Oh, you're funny. You perform Majni's ritual last. I don't think we ever described Majni. Do we want to do that now?
Majni is a guy.
Just
That's
a
it. He's a
just
guy.
a fella. Okay. Dressed in a similar manner to Rakel. So Rakel's got the the headband with the antlers. I'm gonna say that Majni has a hat made out of badger fur. And it's got like the little ears and then the stripes coming down. You perform the ritual on Majni. And this has been murder on your sinuses. And as Majni's eyes open and look at yours, Majni says, Rakel?
What the hell did I come here and get you for? Why were you out here?
Well, I was supposed to come out here and help heal someone, but it looks like you already took care of all that.
You missed a lot.
Well, okay then. Catch me up then. But first of all, that's a terrible sneeze you got there. And they reach into their satchel and they pull out some herbs to help with some antihistamine, basically, and give it to you. And it's like, here, chew on that for a while. That'll help clear it up.
All right.
It's got a very strong botanical, sort of menthol taste to it. And it has sort of the effects of a cough drop, but it also helps to stop the running nose.
It's just actual mint.
Anything anybody wants to do in Glimmer?
Do you want to check on the photography shop?
Okay. Well, the photography shop has a closed sign out front, and it seems to have been vacant since the photographer died. This is another name I didn't look up, but I'm sure it's going to be here.
Just had my notebook. Oh, it's right here.
Cameron.
Jedediah Snaps!
It's Janadiah Snaps.
Old Jed.
Is there anyone that's particularly interested in the camera shop?
Oh, I've got to come up with a great name for this. You see that there's there's a young boy wearing like a newspaper, like a newsy cap, who's like standing in front of the shop, like doing that thing where like, you know, the kid gets all close up to the window and they like, you know, they leave fingerprints and stuff on it, but like trying to like peer into the dark shop and see the things inside.
Excuse me.
He like
need some
sees
mint?
you and he starts running.
No. Oh,
Want me to chase after him?
no, you'll just scare him more.
That's like half the
I'm
fun,
gonna-
though.
He goes down the goes down an adjacent like alleyway and then like peeks back around.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Who said that I thought you were gonna hurt me?
Well, I thought the running away was a bit on the nose.
Well, what's a kid supposed to do when you go sneaking up on him like that?
Perhaps if you were paying more attention, then you wouldn't have gotten snuck up on.
He seems to want to argue with you, but he just sort of like crosses his arms and like furrows his brow. You got something to say to me?
What's your interest in the photography shop?
Well, I don't know. Might be kind of cool to be able to take some pictures of some things, I guess.
How old?
Maybe
are
I'm
you?
an aspiring young businessman who would like to start a newspaper.
Well, how old are you?
7.5.
A fine age to start a business, I assume.
Yeah, I'm getting a little long in the tooth, but I thought that I'd get in the game late.
Well, I'm looking to invest in opening this shop again. It would take a lot of hard work.
Hard work is my middle name.
And what is your first name?
That's a good question. I need a first name for this character. And also a last name. And maybe a middle name. Maybe a fun nickname.
My first thought was Scribbles, and I don't know why.
Jeremy Scribbles.
Oh, I also was thinking Jeremy. Same brain. The name's Scribbles. But my actual name is Scrambles. Jeremy Scrambles.
A fitting name. Do you have parents, Mr. Jeremy?
Yeah, who's got parents nowadays? Both of mine wound up in the vault.
Is everyone gonna be fixed from that?
Oh yeah, they're totally fixed. Like
Okay.
the Scrambles couple were immediately like, Jeremy, where's our Jeremy?
Okay. Well, perhaps if you could gather your parents once they are relieved of the vault, we could have a conversation about you taking over this shop.
Well, it sounds like I'm gonna have to forfeit a lot of my newfound freedoms. But I think we can make a deal.
Well, if you don't want it, you just have to say the word.
I'm gonna level with you. I'm really sick of begging for scraps, and it sounds like it would be awful nice to have my mom make me a sandwich again.
I can't argue with that. Moms do make the best sandwiches.
Can I just hand Jeremy like a little sign card that has like pick up your parents at XXX at X time?
Oh, you're the guy that was chasing me earlier.
Yeah, you're real fast.
I know. That's me, Scribble Scrambles.
When someone says, "Hey, stop, I've got an important message for you," running is generally a good idea, but I actually had a message for you.
Well, I thought that the message was you're going to jail.
We've been trying to reach you about your parents' extended warranty.
Oh, bless. All right.
Well,
A deal is forged.
yeah. She will send for parts from this place often and check on the shop and make sure it's still doing well if they need anything. God, those beans.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
We every now and then we gotta check in on those beans.
Yeah.
They are honestly like cat beans are getting me through life nowadays. The newspaper that he winds up starting up goes on to be distributed across the entire Ramble, thanks to the newly established train system and the parcel ponies fully underway. Anything else that we want to do here in Glimmer?
I think we got everything right.
Okay. Y'all can spend the night at a inn. Probably the same inn that you were in last time, but you will find that it is much more humble accommodations than it was before. You are busy having a delicious breakfast when the door opens and someone has to duck to be able to fit in through the door. And you hear a familiar voice, Rakel. Well, howdy, sweet pea.
Rakel runs down from wherever she is. Oh, Dolly. And just runs up to be crushed by this woman.
Yes, she kneels down to hug you. And the rest of you see a rather tall, sort of like slightly stooped, woman with like really barky skin, and a plume of blackberry bramble hair. I feel like this like really raises Triss's eyebrows. But she is, yeah, just absolutely like burying Rakel in hugs. And Majni walks up and says, "Hello, Dolly."
That is
Oh,
small
and you
Dolly.
found
She has a
Majni
title.
too. Pulls that like badger hat down. Sorry, Ma Dolly.
Yeah, I found him.
Well, you have done just a bang up job. You're the bee's knees, sweetheart. And she like pinches your cheeks.
She'll gesture towards everybody. Oh, sorry. Y'all. This is my Ma Dolly. Ma Dolly. This is Ruth. Trisk. Kid. And she'll just go down the line. Yeah. We help each other out.
Well, I sensed that there was some energy surrounding you. When I felt that Majni had been awakened, I decided to come on out onto this side of the plains and, well, bring y'all home.
How's everything over there?
Oh, well, you know, things are different now. But everyone's doing about as well as they can. Majni's family is really excited to hear that he's coming home, and, well, your father really wants to see you again.
Right. All right. Can, give me just a minute.
Of course, take all the time you need.
yep, Rakel will go back to the party.
She'll step back and have a conversation with Magny.
So, it's kind of my ride.
Can't hear you, Tris.
I'm talking. I'm sorry. Well, it was a joy traveling with you, Rakel, and just know that you are welcome in the grove anytime.
Are you bringing the grove back over here or in the palisade, or what was the deal?
The plan is to put it to a vote, and whoever wants to come with me to the palisade, we shall travel there. If those would like to remain in our old place, they are welcome to. But I find that the greens here are fading, and it might be time for us to move on.
I understand.
Oh, come here. And she gives Rakel a big hug.
I really get the same feeling as you. This place is so different. I just I want to go. I just want to get back home, but it was so nice to have someone like you to remind me not everybody here is. And I mean, she won't finish that statement.
Oh. She'll kind of cup your face in her hands, and she says, I know that this world is strange, and it is full of people that are, well, unkind. And I'm glad that I could show you that that is not the case for everybody. And you know that, well, you can go back home for as long as you need. But you can move on and be your own person if you'd like. And if you'd like to come and find me, or if you want me to come and visit, I'm just a letter away.
Kid, did you figure out what you were looking for?
Not really, no. But that's kind of the point of the adventure, right? Discover that along the way. Kid'll actually remove his neckerchief and give that to Rakel for when he gets sneezy. And hey, it ain't goodbye for me and you. I'm actually considering taking up that post gig. So if you have any letters you want to send up north, just hand them off to me.
All right.
He'll muss her hair.
Thanks for the help, Ruth.
Ruth will take his hat and put it over his chest, and he has kind of like a little bit of like like he's in on himself a little bit. And when you say that, he will smile a little bit, and he will look he will look at Rakel and say,
In all of my years of travel, I have never met somebody as forthcoming, ingenious, and quite frankly caring as you, even though there are times where you did not want to appear as such. I appreciate everything that you did. I'm glad I helped you, because at the end of the day, you have made me a better person. Thank you. And if you are ever on the Gold Coast in need of a place or a guide,
he will manifest a sending stone, just like he did with Cirrus.
you got a friend. Sorry.
You have a handkerchief now.
I snot into the handkerchief.
Hey, perfect gift.
And before you head out, would you mind if I asked just one thing of you? Just a brief minute of your time.
Go ahead.
Just a moment. Is my Dolly approachable?
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Just a minute, please.
And Ruth will
Oh, no.
go over to Ma Dolly, and he'll introduce himself. There's going to be like a little bit of like back and forth motion to the party, and then just like give like a thank you. And then he'll come back over and say,
Triss, can I borrow your camera, and can I get all of us to stand up against a wall?
I think that's a great idea. I'll pass it off.
and Ruth will like essentially he would love for them to all pose for a picture together.
Beautiful.
Kid
And
pulls,
Dolly's
like-
taking the picture for you.
She has the highest vantage point. She got,
She
like-
really do.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got a real fun idea too. And Kid will disappear for a second and come back after the photo with like a letter board. So you could put like Kid wanted for.
All right, we'll do one serious and one silly one.
Yeah. She's also like, like guiding you guys. Get together, act like you know each other. All right, everybody say good Barry.
Good, Barry.
Good Barry.
Good berries.
God bless.
And all our souls are gone.
They belong to me now. God, I love it.
Anything for you, Dolly.
She will approach Triss. And thank you for your part in taking care of Rakel. Darling, you are a medium, right?
Yes.
You ever considered joining a book club?
A book club. What do you mean?
She's gonna hand you like a literal business card and say, "We'll be in touch." She pulls it out of her boost, like her bosom.
Yeah. What does it say?
What does it say, Connor?
It's in primordial.
Okay. Hold on. I don't think I speak that.
Does
but-
it look like a tiny Ouija board?
No.
Does it look like an Italian man with a green hat?
No, it kind of looks like it kind of looks in between like a monogram and a tribal tattoo.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I just want to thank you for raising such a wonderful person.
Oh, I can't take it. I can't take full credit for that. It takes a village.
We say it takes a grove, but same thing.
You guys have a hearty chuckle over that, and merriment is had. Drinks are poured, delicious snacks. I want to say that this erupts into a party. because there's a lot to celebrate. There's a lot of families that have been reunited, and word spreads throughout the town of Glimmer that there's a gathering going on here. And it like advances to the point where there's even like fireworks going off. And this is like the most ostentatious Glimmer has been since its sissy days. So there comes a moment where if that is as good as any for Dolly, Majni, and Rakel to make their leave. And
Cheers
the goodbyes have been said. And gosh, who gets the picture?
I'll
the
make copies.
The picture is left like as they sort of walk away, along with all of Rakel's gold.
I think the three of you walk away. You just sort of step out into the middle of the street, and Dolly looks down, takes your hand. You take Majni's hand, and there is a bright flash of light, and like a huge cloud of gold dust is left behind when Rakel vacates this plane. But yeah, the three of them leave, punctuated by the echoing sound of Dolly's laughter.
Ruth sneezes.
You say leave this plane? How am I gonna get letters to Rakel now?
Figure it out.
Yeah,
She's got a sending stone. Those work.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. There's a 5% chance that it misses, but 95% of the time, it'll work.
Well, that's 5e.
Every time.
Rakel's moving into a whole system, like.
Oh.
Rakel's side of the sending stone will be beholden to that system, I suppose. I think we should see what the posse is doing, and then we'll check back in with Rakel on the other side.
Tris needs to go home. She will invite everyone to come with her. The boys.
Ruth will gladly follow.
Okay. The two of you follow Tris out towards her homeland, known as the Thicket. And as you approach, you realize one thing first. There is a lot more civilization out here than you would have expected. And then the next thing you notice is a lot of places where there has clearly been deforestation in years past. And there is it is gradually recovering, but you can tell that there has been a lot of conflict between the towns surrounding the thicket and the thicket itself. There has been ongoing negotiations between the two of them, and it clearly has been rough going.
Tris will lead them into the thicket, making sure that they, stick close and are not like, who are you here? Go up to her, contact her, the mother tree, as it were, and give her the rest of Tris's money that she had gotten for the grove, and she will let them know about this new land that she's found, and see what they want to do. We have a stake and a claim to it. Hello, Ollie. So she says that she would like to go out there. She doesn't think that they should give up on this place, but perhaps to start anew, that would be good for some people to go to, or the elderly,
I feel like, Right. I feel like that there has been small factions within the thicket who have said we should just leave. this is like the fighting is too hard, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to negotiate with humans on their terms, and like in a language that we're not familiar with, not like, you know, like a literal language, but like
Mm-hmm.
in a negotiation style that we're not familiar with. The deck is stacked against us. If we're
Mm-hmm.
playing their rules, they're always going to change the rules to benefit them.
Yeah.
So
Could
I
try something for the faction that wants to remain here?
what are your intentions?
Could I find like whatever logging company is deforesting? Just walk up to the GM, drop a shit ton of gold, and say "fuck off."
And tell them to leave.
Go away.
Gotta leave.
I wish it were that easy.
It's probably not. Yeah, wishful thinking.
The thing about this world, and it's something that I established early on, we kind of never touched on again because you've been interacting with people with law. People don't really work in gold. Yeah, because like if you have gold, then it attracts law users, and they come and take it from you.
Break it down to silver. I don't care. Fuck off.
I guess you could go to a bank and get it changed.
Sorry, sir. We do not have enough silver on hand. You have effectively bankrupt this economy.
Isn't that silly? That's the real D&D problem, is that like any adventurer going on a shopping spree would bankrupt the economy.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea of you throwing money at this problem to try and like make it not an issue anymore. But it obviously won't make it go completely away.
I would
It's
just
like a
make one
short-term
company
solution,
leave, another
yeah.
company would just show up.
Yeah.
I'd find an establishment for my friends.
I was thinking that you were gonna go full vigilante.
No, I have money. Batman should throw more money at more of his problems.
I'm gonna put it this way. This is not an unsolvable problem, but it's not a problem that's gonna be solved during this epilogue.
Yeah.
We can say that it's like there's a long road ahead, and you guys are gonna be working on it. Yes. So, this is done, and negotiations begin in the thicket to sort of sort out who will be going, who will be staying, and whatnot.
Yeah, then her intentions are to travel. Her intentions are to travel back and then, spend another night in Serendipity and head on out back to the Gold Coast.
Okay. RJ, if you were saying something, we didn't hear you.
Yeah, Kindle's just gonna ask Ruth and Tris, you're both heading up to the Palisades after this?
Yes.
Gold Coast needs a sheriff.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the long way back home.
Ruth will say, and is this like their final night, or is this just like kind of in the middle of the day? You're like, well, fork in the road, bye.
No, I think it'd be like a nighttime thing.
Okay.
Like they're having dinner or something.
Mm-hmm.
Would you entertain an old man just one last time?
Sure, my guitar's over there.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
He pulls at his harmonica.
At the very beginning of our adventure, I gave you that in the hopes that you would figure out something to do with your time that was better than killing. Care to show me what you learned?
God, I have, for some fucking reason, I have the Doobie Brothers on my mind. What a fool believes.
Play him out!
What a fool believes.
And I think that Ruth will just enjoy having a little jam session with Kid as best he can.
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, this is basically your goodbye to Kid. Is Triss going to go back to the Palisades on her own, or is this her goodbye to Ruth as well?
Depending on how long the thicket is going to take.
You tell me. I'm not sure.
I think that she will take a couple of the people who are like, oh, we're absolutely going, and then leave like instructions as they go on the way for those who want to follow. So she probably has a couple with her, but she will go back to the Palisades with Ruth. So on their final night with Kid, she will, after the song is done, before they go to bed, Triss will mosey up to Kid and just say, you know, I was never one for the young folk. I never wanted children of my own. But you did give me hope that the young people of this world are kind and generous and had more to offer than some of us older folk. So thank you.
I thought you were like my age.
That is very kind. But I am not. I am closer to Ruthie's age.
You do not show it, ma'am. Salutes.
Would you
Damn.
permit me with an embrace?
I guess I could be amenable to an embrace. He'll just walk forward and hug her.
She does a good old-fashioned back rub with it, and then kind of like takes his face in her hands, and she will like put her forehead to his and say, keep doing good out there, Kid.
I'll try. I'll try.
I know your daddies are proud of you.
Well, one of them is. I know that much.
And you better come visit.
Nah, it's gonna be real hard to get rid of me.
That is wonderful to hear. I'll keep a spot for you open.
Appreciate that. Hey, Pops.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. You got like 7 other dads, and you lead with Pops?
Influential male individual in my life. Yeah, sure. I'll lead with Pops.
Yeah, he's blushing a little bit. You know, stop.
You know, I'm not even gonna say the nice thing I was gonna say. You just made it weird.
No, keep going. I want to hear it. Got a nice thing to say?
Thanks for looking out.
Of course. I care
And-
about you.
Okay.
And if there's one thing that I'll leave you with, it's that where I come from, when it's people you care about, you don't say goodbye. You say see you soon. This isn't goodbye, Kid.
I never said it was. I just told Triss it was gonna be real hard to get rid of me.
I know.
I'll see you too soon.
Too soon? Now that sounds like a threat, but I get what you're meaning. Just know that there is always a can of beans on for you.
Can it be like jerky? I'm kind of sick of beans after this adventure.
What do you mean? It's a superfood.
I'm leaving now. Goodbye. Let's go. See you soon. See you soon.
Wow.
Shut up. I take back every nice thing I've ever said about you, Ruthie.
That means the world. See you soon, Kid.
Later.
He'll be back.
The door opens again. Forgot my guitar.
Sooner than I thought.
I feel like we see Kid riding off into the horizon with his guitar on his back.
It's
And
it's not a ride off into the sunset. It is a slow amble as he's strumming guitar.
yeah, I like that. We will cut away to that as time has been dilated slightly, and Rakel, Ma Dolly, and Majni apparate into the grove. Looking around, it is just as you left it. Verdant and sunny. A cozy circle of trees with huts scattered about. And everywhere you look, you see families interacting, just going about their daily lives. Majni thanks you and wanders off to his hut, and there is a flurry of excitement as his family recognizes that he's finally returned home, and you are swarmed by grateful relatives who insist that you must come over for dinner tonight.
Sure. Give me a little bit.
You are reluctantly released.
Madali, do you know where Dad is?
Well, I reckon when I left, he was over by the tree of the Hunt Father.
And she will dig in her bag to pull out the one piece of gold that did come with her. The totem of the Blood Hunter, the two antlers that are sort of coiling together.
Oh, that's my trinket.
Your,
Did you,
yours?
Well, yeah, I gave it to you. Did you find any use out of it?
Yeah, Ma Bailey sent me through with this, and I got help from and she'll sort of reach out and try to summon her companion spirit with her.
Ollie just looks confused.
Why did you and Billy send me a spirit like the Hunt Father?
What are you talking about? Sweetheart, that was just one of the trinkets we dug up. We wanted you to have something with gold in it when you got to the Ramble.
This didn't have anything bound to it?
Not in this plane, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. And she'll think about that for a little bit. Because she is not sure why an antlered wolf, which is a pretty significant symbol in her tribe, decided to be her companion spirit. Because she thought the hags did it. I'm gonna go see Dad. Thanks, Maudali.
Always, sweetheart. She gives you a little tweak on the cheek and lets you go. As you walk through the village, it is a place that is blanketed by peace, but the quietness in the clearing has an ache to it. As while it is happy, idyllic, peaceful, it's very clear that there's something missing, that someone missing.
Yep. She will walk through and try and make her way to the Hunt Father tree.
Okay. I imagine like it's a small distance. Like would it be like in the clearing proper, or would it like be off in the trees?
No, it would be further away.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be a little hike in the hills. And along the way she'll reach off on the side of the trail and find a flower, a weed actually, with a hairy stem and some small white flowers, and just rip it out of the ground and hold it in her hands and try to find where her father is.
Okay. Sure enough, you find Cordoran sitting under the bald cypress tree, the tree of the Hunt Father, Morabek. And he is a large man wearing what I imagine is something that's kind of like a cross between furs and robes, like green is the dominating color. And he's just sitting cross-legged in front of the tree, fiddling with something in his hands. He appears to have his carving knife out, and he's just whittling quietly under the tree.
Hey, Dad. I'm back.
He turns around and looks at you. He puts the knife away, and he stands up, opens his arms.
And she'll just go into be held and just sit with her father.
The two of you are quiet for a long time, and I feel like it is indicative of something that has gone undone, something that has gone unsaid, a grief that the two of you were unable to share before you left. When you left, it was sort of in a rush, in a flurry, in a desperate attempt to prove yourself worthy of Chief Akar giving his life to save you. And now that that adventure is over, all that's left is the loss. After some time, he looks down at you and notices that you have an uprooted plant in your hands. And he kneels down, because I imagine he's just a very tall, very large man.
Oh yeah,
He takes a knee, and he says, "What do you got there?"
bitterness. I, I I don't know. Before I left, everything here just and she'll hand the plant to him. It's a white snake root.
Mm-hmm.
A plant that, whenever you do rip it out of the ground, the oil that stains your hand leaves everything with a very bitter taste because it is mildly toxic. And it is incredibly difficult to wash out with soap and water.
You go to hand it to him, and he'll like reach to his belt and pull out a cloth and use that to take the plant from you. He holds it and sort of like considers it for a little while, and he'll turn around and walk over to the tree and just kind of like quietly place it at the roots. And while he's doing that, he says, bitterness is right. It's going to take forever for this to wash out.
And yeah, I guess I just felt that all over before I left. I just needed time. Needed time to let it dissipate. Needed time to deal with it. And we're still dealing with it. That's okay.
He looks at you. And then he'll take that cloth and put it in your hand. Sometimes when handling white snake root, it's best to wait until you're better equipped, got the right tools to handle it.
I don't know if I can handle it.
That's okay. One day you will.
And she'll just cry into your shoulder.
Okay. I think that we will cut away from that. The camera will move up towards the sun, and then hold on that for a bit, and then come back down on the Ramble. And years have passed. We're looking at the Gold Coast at a shack with a five-pointed, no. What does a sheriff star usually have? It's 5 points, right?
Five or six.
5 or 6. There's a star that is sort of scratched onto the door, with the little like nubbins at the points that indicate that a sheriff do stay here. I believe Ruthie is out on the porch with his harmonica, playing the Prospector's Lament. And in the time between Rakel leaving and now, Ruth has done a lot of learning, a lot of introspecting, and a lot of learning about the ancient civilization that lived here, as he's trying very hard to learn how to communicate better with his new deputy, who is leaning up against the shack in a very tsundere bad boy sort of way, like hat low over his face, the bandana with like the skull up over their faceplate. There's no mouth there, but sure enough, upon their poncho there gleams a deputy star. The song that Ruthie is playing is not the Lament of the Prospector. It's an old song, and he's been able to learn from his friend that this is the Lament of Law. And while he is playing this harmonica. I want to say literally across the street is Triss's Cafe. And she is sitting outside at a glass top table. This beautiful, like, sort of, I want to say, like, kind of an Art Nouveau kind of architecture. And we see Brutus step outside to refill her water, as he is now the barista at Triss's Cafe. Is there any, like, interaction that we want to have here before we close out?
I think
Places her hand on him. That's how far they've gotten.
We got that slow burn.
Brutus bolts for the door as he hears spurs jingling up to the cafe. I'm sorry, miss. Could you direct me to the sheriff's office? I have some correspondence for him.
No, the sheriff is very busy.
Oh, well, then I guess Madam Black is going to have to get this letter back, return to sender style.
Did I
Literally
hear
hear the
Madam
harmonica.
Black?
Just there's a quick whip of the hat, lick of the palm, slathering onto the hair, straightens the shirt up a little bit. Wow, what'd you say this time?
Just a whip.
Oh, bless.
It says thank you.
It's more just like dry business reports. There is like no emotionality to it at
Laying
all.
hard to get, I see.
Ew.
And I want to say that that's like with like, you know, the laughter that is shared among friends. That's where we're gonna leave off.
Time to tear a hole in the space-time continuum to get this fucking letter to Rakel.
What's it say? I can just shoot him a message.
Oh, shit.
But with that, I would like to say, once again, Wings, thank you so much for running this absolutely fantastic game. I have always had an absolute blast whenever you have been on this channel. Wings, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You know where you can find me. It's DanaeKeener.com. That's the end. That's all I'm gonna say.
And RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
I was muted. Hello, everybody. My name is RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on all the socials. Most recently, I was over at Critical Misses doing an interview with Noir and Fox. Tuesday, tomorrow, over at High Shelf Collective for The Heart is a Dungeon. We're doing a delve. It's getting real creepy. There's a lot of worms. If I had a nickel for every time worms were involved in my life, I would have 3 nickels. It's weird that it's come up that many times. Actually, no, 4. I'll throw Magnus Archives into there. Other than that, Saturdays are Reggie Game Nights with Danae. We're in Blades of the Dark endgame territory, I'm really hoping. God, finale, yes, but I don't want it to end, but also, I think we're doing Sentai and Sensibilities after this.
So excited.
It's gonna be good.
It's Power Rangers, but fucking like
Jane
in
Austen.
Victorian England. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Thursdays, we're coming back over on the Hype Goblins after hiatus. Yay! So July is when we're going to be starting back up, like around the 10th, I believe. Otherwise, that's it for me at DanaeKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on Blue Sky and on Instagram. I'm Hack Recklessly on here on Twitch and on YouTube, where we just hit 700 on Twitch and 300 on YouTube. So awesome. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be streaming this week on Friday. We are doing the casting of Frank Stone right now, which I'm very excited for. It's in the Dead by Daylight universe, which I know quite a bit about. So yeah, check that out. We have a lot of TTRPGs coming up on the Sunday spot on our channel. We've got Duster coming up, which is it's a TTRPG written by a friend of the channel, and we're gonna have some special guests on there for that, including most likely Noir, so I'm very excited. And then we'll have the Scooby Squad back for a short series in July, and then in September, we will have the Fallout crew back. We are going to be doing another short series run by SneakerNet, aka Zach, which is a period piece as well. So I'm very excited for that. That's me, DanaeKeener.com. I mean, I'm not DanaeKeener.com, but that is me, period, DanaeKeener.com.
Oh wait, I am also not TonateKeener.com. You cannot find me there, but you can find me at cyberwolf1201.com, both on the actual website and on Blue Sky, and sometimes even on Twitch at twitch.tv/cyberwolf1201, and also here on Sundays sometimes. Running a game. Sometimes. But DanaeKeener.com.
And if this is your first time joining us, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Corns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point. Or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. Going forward, the only shows that we will be having on this channel are going to be our Sunday game, which, as Cyber pointed out, is, you know what, we are doing our best to try and make that game work, but Lord Alive is scheduling the true monster at the end of this dungeon. That being said, if you want to go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, you could check up on the after show of all of the game for each of the games that we've played up until this point as well. After this show comes out, I am going to be turning off the paid options for Patreon, just because we aren't producing stuff regularly enough for me to justify telling all of you, like, hey, give $1 a month, because if there's nothing that happens for a month, I'd respectfully, I don't want your money. Use that towards some of these other wonderful content creators. Go subscribe to LB's channel. Go subscribe to Connor's channel. Go check out the Hype Goblins channel. Go check out Noir. Go check out all of the friends that we have made over the last 7 years, because rightfully we would not be here today without the support and love of everybody in the community that we've gotten to know. So with that being said, I would like to once again say, Danae, thank you so much for running this absolutely incredible game. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again, and we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. See you soon!